Hi and welcome back to this channel. Today we're gonna watch Bill Wurtz video on history of the entire world, I guess. Very famous video. I think I've seen it maybe once. I don't know if I saw the entire one. But nonetheless, this is gonna be very interesting, right? Original videos down below and let's see.
Hi, you're on a rock, floating in space. Pretty cool, huh? Some of it's water. Fuck it. Actually, most of
Right.
it's water. I can't even get from here to there without buying a boat. It's sad. I'm sad. I miss you. How did this happen? A long time ago. Actually, never. And also now. Nothing is nowhere. When? Never. Makes sense, right? Like I said, it didn't happen. Nothing was never anywhere. That's why it's been everywhere. It's been so everywhere, you don't need a where. You don't even need a when. That's how every it gets.
Sure.
Forget this. I want to be something. Go somewhere. Do something. I want things to change. I want to...
Alright, but one thing though, this is one thing that science maybe can't explain. Why did something happen when nothing happened, right? How, why, right? And again, for science to work on when the world or the universe started, you need a miracle. No, you need the Big Bang. That's a miracle. If nothing happened and then something happened, you need a miracle, right? You can explain the entire history of, you can explain the entire universe up until a point where you say a Big Bang happened, right? Where it went from nothing to something, or something to nothing to something. Like you can explain it, but you need a miracle, right?
To invent time and space, and I know
Why?
it's possible because everything.
And who is I? I want to invent.
Things here, and it probably already happened. I just don't know when to start. And
Sure.
That's exactly where it started. Oh,
why?
I paused it. I think there's a universe now. What's it made of? Quarks and stuff. Ah, that's a thing. In a place. Don't like it? Try a new place. At a different time. Try to stick together because the world is going to get bigger and emptier. But it's not empty yet. It's still very full and about 1 jillion degrees. Great news. The quarks are now happily married in groups of 3 called a proton or a neutron. And there's something else flying around too that wants to join in but can't because it's still too... Great news. The protons and neutrons are now happily married to each other. Some of them even doubled up. Great news, the electrons have now joined in. Congratulations, the world is now a bunch of gas in space. It's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. And it's getting closer together. It's a star. New shit. Right,
I mean, see how many millions of years, and again, years in our time, right? Human Earth years, right? 500 million human years to just create a star, right? And then after that, everything else went a little faster for some reason, right? Maybe because it's more stuff of more stuff, and more stuff creates more stuff, right? But, okay, sure.
It just got made.
Sure.
Some stars burn out and die. Bigger stars burn out and die with passion and make some brand new, way crazier shit. Which allows newer, more interesting stars to be made and then die and explode into even crazier space dust. So now stars have cool stuff around them, like rocks, ice, and funny clouds, which can make some very interesting things. Like this ball of flaming rocks, for example. Holy shit, we just got hit with another ball of flaming rocks. And it kind of made a mess, which is now...
Which is pretty cool, because on the moon, supposedly, if the moon is a piece of Earth, then that means the things that are, or things that exist on this rock, like minerals or whatever, at least there should be some minerals or stones on the moon as the same as on Earth, right? If you're just thinking that straight, that 1-to-1 ratio, right? But okay, this is pretty funny.
Weather update, it's raining rocks from outer
Right.
space. Weather update, those rocks might have had water inside them and now there's hot steam in the sky.
Yep.
Weather update, cooler temperatures today and the floor is no longer lava. Weather update, it's raining. Severe flooding alert, the entire world is now an ocean. Volcano alert. That's land. There's life in the ocean. What? Something's alive in the ocean. Oh cool, like a plant or an animal? No, a microscopic speck. It lives at the bottom of the ocean and eats chemical soup, which is being served hot and fresh, made from dry space ingredients left over from when it was raining rocks or whatever. Oh yeah, and it can do that. It has secret instructions written inside itself telling it how to build another one of itself.
And why does it have that? Obviously, something has to be constructed of something, but why? Why is some things, or all things, constructed from something and it has a particular way it does that? Or it's built up in a particular way, like DNA, right? Where does that come from? Why does it exist? Why does it need to exist? It's not my argument, but something has to put that in place so it exists. Or does it just come out of reasons? I don't know.
So that's pretty nifty, I would say. Tired of living at the bottom of the ocean? Now you can eat sunlight.
Yep.
Using a revolutionary technique, you can convert sunlight into food. Side effect, now there's oxygen everywhere and the sky's blue. Then the Earth might have been a snowball for a while, maybe even a couple of times.
Yep.
It's a sponge, it's a plant, it's a worm, and some other types of weird, strange water bugs and strange fish. It's the Cambrian explosion. Wow, that's animals and stuff. But we're still in the ocean. Hey, can we go on land? No. Why? The sun is a deadly laser. Okay.
Yep.
Not anymore, there's a blanket. Now the animals can go on
Right.
land. Come on, animals, let's go on land. Nope, can't walk yet. And there's no food yet, so I don't...
One thing that I maybe it's just me that haven't read a lot of this, but I can't wrap my head around how the animals, or the animal, maybe there were more animals, but that grew legs to be able to walk on land. How long did that evolution take? Like this, let's say it's a fish, right? Is it because of its desire to eat the things that it saw on land? So over generations of generations, they evolved sort of legs that they can swim with, but also walk with over generation of generation, and then also the ability to breathe air. Right? Is that how that works? I don't know. Because when this is depicted, right? It's depicted of, oh, a fish sort of, then it can walk a little bit, and then it can walk more, and then it can walk even more on land and breathe air, right? How fast is that transition? I have no idea. Maybe I should read up on it. At least in school I didn't learn anything about it. You just see the gradual shift from swimming to walking, but you don't know how long that is. Why it could be, or the reason why it could be the desire to eat food, but you already have food there, but I don't know how. Wow. Too many questions.
Okay, well you learned to walk.
100 million years later,
Maybe
okay.
some bugs and fish.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I can
5
go on land,
million.
but I have to go back in the water to have babies.
Okay.
Use an egg.
I was already doing that.
Okay.
Use a strong...
That sort of answered my question. Millions of years, okay. And lay eggs in the water, which makes sense. Frogs do that, right? They can walk on land, but not for long. Or they can, but they lay the eggs in water.
Egg.
Makes
Put
sense.
water in it. Have a baby on land in an egg. Water is in the
Right.
egg. Baby in the egg, in the water, in the egg. Works for me.
That is very... You can still see the connection to water, right? Which is pretty cool. Instead of having the eggs in water, you have water in the eggs, so you can have them on land. Wow.
Bye-bye, ocean. And now everything's huge, including bugs. Want to see a map
Right.
of the land? Sure. Oh, fuck, now everything's dead. Just kidding, here are the survivors. Keep your eye on this one, because it's about to become the dinosaurs. Here's another map of
Yep.
the land. Yeah, it broke apart, don't worry about it, it does that all the time. Here
Look
comes a
at
meteor.
that.
And the dinosaurs are gone.
Think about that. I don't know how many meteors or rocks that hit the earth. But if it just was one huge one that killed all the big dinosaurs, because some dinosaurs survived, or ancestors of them, right? The things that could crawl and live underneath the earth, they survived. Obviously, this is difficult because obviously the things in ocean, not all of them survived. But why did the big ones turn into small ones over time? I don't know. Because they turned from small to big. When they were in the water, they were small, and then they become huge on land. But then the ones who stayed in the ocean became big and then became small to our time, right? Because there were dinosaurs that were huge, right? Obviously whales exist, but I don't know if they're ancestors of the dinosaurs like that. And obviously birds, some birds, I don't know if every bird is an ancestor of dinosaurs that flew. Some of them also survived. But if it just was one meteor that wiped out every dinosaur, maybe not every, but all land-based dinosaurs at least, then that's, I don't know what that is. That's a reset button, but why and who or what? I don't know.
It's mammal time. Here come the mammals. Look at those breasts. Now they're gonna dominate the world, and one of them just learned how to grab stuff. And walk. No, like walk like that. And grab stuff at the same time. And bang rocks together to make pointed rocks. Ouch. And set things on fire. Youch. And make crazy sounds with their voice.
Set the things on fire, but also the meat that they ate, instead of eating raw meat, they cooked the meat, which gave them more, I don't know what it is, but more, let's say, brain juice, right? So their brain evolved faster, or at all, right? Instead of eating raw meat like every other animal does, I'm gonna say we burned or cooked the meat, right?
Which can mean different things.
Very interesting.
And now they're everywhere. Right. Almost. What? You can walk over here? Cool. Well, I guess we're stuck.
One thing though about this, there are some scientific persons, some archaeologists who argue that humans actually came from, I don't know if it's North or South America, and then there they went to Africa. Right? Because they found things that are older than people are saying that people came to South or North America, right? So either that argues that people were there earlier than we thought, or that they are the originals, and then they went across during the Ice Age to the west instead of east. But I don't know. Still very interesting.
Let's review. There's people on the planet.
Right.
Chasing their food. Fuck it. Time to plant some grass. Look at this. I control the food now. Now everyone will want to be my friend and live near me. Let's all build houses, except mine is bigger because I own the food. This is great. I wonder if anyone else is doing this. Tired of using rocks for everything? Use metal. It's underground. Better farming was just invented in a sweet dank valley right in between these two rivers. And the animals are helping. Guess what happens next? More food. And more people who came to buy the food. Now you need people to help make the food and keep track of the sales. And now you need houses for people to live in and people to make the houses. And now there's more people and they invent things, which makes things better. And more people come and there's more farming and more people to make more things for more people.
I mean, look at just the evolution, just so quick. Obviously, this is when you live by the river, because you can plant things by the river, you can fish in the river, you can use the river as transportation, drinking water, right? Maybe not the cleanest, but still, you can drink it. Obviously, this makes sense. If you're in a desert, it's not going to evolve that fast if you're not by a river, right? So that's the reason why the great civilizations, the longer lasting civilizations, were by the rivers, right? Mesopotamia,
now there's business,
Nile,
money, writing, laws, power.
Right.
Coming soon to a dank river valley near you. Meanwhile,
Yep.
out in the middle of nowhere, the horse is probably being tamed. Why is all my metal so lame and lumpy? Tired of using lame, sad metal? Introducing bronze, made with special ingredient tin from the far lands of Tinland. I don't know, my
Right.
dealer won't tell me where he gets it. Also, guess what? Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, they figured out how to put wheels on a horse. Now we're getting somewhere. Also, China.
Wow.
And did I mention?
Yep.
The Middle East is getting more complicated. Maybe because it's in the middle of the East. Knock knock, or
Right.
clop clop. It's the people with the horses. And they made an empire. And then everyone else copied their horses. Greeks.
Yep.
Ah, look, it must be the Greeks. Or a beta version of the Greeks. Let's check in
Yeah.
with the Indus River Valley civilization. They're gone.
They're
Guess who's
gone.
not gone? China. New arrivals in India. Maybe it's those horse people I was talking about.
I mean, not the first time people are gonna come into India, right? But okay. Sure.
And they wrote some hymns and mantras and stuff. You could make a religion out of this. There's
Yep.
the Bronze Age collapse. Now the Phoenicians can get down to business. Also, can we switch to a metal that's a little easier to find? Thanks. Look who came back to Israel. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. And they
Yep.
believe in God. Just one, though. He's got like a 10-step program. Here's some huge heads. Must be the
10-step
Olmecs. The
program.
Phoenicians make some colonies. The Greeks copy their idea and make some colonies. The Phoenicians
Yep.
made a colony so big it makes colonies. Here comes the Assyrian Empire. Never mind, it's the Babylonian Median. It's the Persian Empire.
Look at that.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
The Buddha was just enlightened. Who's the Buddha? This guy who sat under a tree for so long that he figured out how to ignore the fact that we're all dying. You can make a religion out of this. Oops, China
Wow.
just broke, but while it was breaking, Confucius was figuring out how to have good morals.
Right.
The Greeks just had the idea of thinking about stuff. And right over here, Alexander just had the idea of conquering the entire Persian Empire. It's a great
Yep.
idea. He was great. And now he's dead. Hopefully the rest
Yeah.
of the gang will be able to share the empire evenly between them. Knock,
Wow.
knock, it's-
Again, look how quick the empire just fell. You saw the Indus River Valley civilization. It was there and then gone. Alexander the Great's empire there, then gone. Wow.
Chandragupta, he says, get the hell out of here. Will you get the hell out of here if I give you 500 elephants? Okay, thanks, bye. Time to
Wow.
conquer all of India, or most of India.
Oh, right.
But what about this part? That's the Tamil Kings. No one conquers the Tamil Kings. Who are the Tamil Kings? Merchants, probably.
Right.
And they've got spices. Who would like to buy?
Right. They got spices. And of course, it makes sense that the wealthiest, strongest places are by the ocean, by an island, so they can trade,
Spices.
right?
Me, said the Arabians, swiftly buying it and selling it to the rest of the world. Hey, China
Yep.
put itself back together again, with good morals as their main philosophy. Actually, they have 3 main philosophies.
Really?
Out here, the horse nomads run wild and free, and they would like to ransack your city.
Yep.
Let's check the Greekification levels of the Greekified kingdoms. Greekification overload. Bye, said the Parthians. Bye, said the Jews. Hi, said the Parthians, taking over the entire place. Hey,
Yep.
said the Romans, eating the entire Mediterranean for breakfast. Thanks for invading our homeland, said the Jews, who were starting to get tired of people invading their homeland. Hi,
Yep.
everything's great, said some guy who seems to be getting very popular and is then arrested and killed for being too popular, which only makes him more
Right.
popular. You can make a religion out of this. Want silk? Now you can buy it from China. They just made a brand new road to the world.
Very big thing. The Silk Road. Look at that. It opens up the world almost, right? Wow.
Or you can get their own water. Sick, new trade routes, said India, accidentally spreading their religion to the entire southeast.
Yep.
That's a good place for an epic trading kingdom. There goes Buddhism traveling up the Silk Road. I wonder if it'll reach China before it collapses again. Remember the
Wow.
Persian Empire? Yep, said the Persians, making a new one. Axum is getting so powerful they would like to build a long stick. Has anyone populated
Wow.
Madagascar yet? Let's do it together.
That's cool. Is that the first time they populated Madagascar? Wow. If that's so, that's pretty cool. That means there haven't been humans there since that time. Wow, that's... Wow. If that's true. Yeah, it's gonna
Still
break a
can't cross the
lot,
Sahara Desert?
lot of
Try
times.
camels. Hell yeah, now we got business, said the Gaulish
Yep.
Empire, selling lots of gold and slaves. Hi, I live in the Roman Empire,
Right.
and I was wondering, is loving Jesus legal yet? No. Actually, okay, sure, said Constantine, moving the capital way
Yep.
over here to be closer to his main rival. Don't worry about
Right.
Rome, it won't fall. It's the
Ah.
golden day.
It's like the banks are not too big to fail, right? Whoops. Yep.
There's the Gupta Empire, not Chandragupta, just Gupta. First name Chandra. The first.
Wow.
Guess who's in Rome? Barbarians. What's a barbarian? Non-Romans, said the Romans, being invaded by non-Romans. R.I.P. Roman
Right.
Empire. Or actually just half of it. The other half is just fun.
Yep.
But it's not in Rome anymore, so let's give it a new name. The Mayans have
Right.
figured out the stars.
That's cool.
Oh, and here's a huge city. Population, everyone. The Gok Turks have taken over the entire Eurasian steppe. Great job, Gok Turks. How's India? Broken. How's
I mean, you saw in the Sahara Desert you have camels, right? But there in the steppes you have horses, which makes sense because it's like open plains. Obviously there's mountains, but it's almost an open plain with grass, which that's the best way to have horses, right? And in the Sahara Desert, camels.
China.
Makes sense.
How's those trading
Uh-oh.
kingdoms? Bigger and there's more of them. Korea has 3 kingdoms. Japan has a kingdom. It's the Sunrise Kingdom. Deep in the Arabian.
Which it makes sense why it's called the Sunrise Kingdom, right? Because I don't know if it was the Chinese that named them that, or it was the Japanese, because they are to them, they're the easternmost part of the world, and where they are, the sun comes up, right?
Desert,
Makes sense.
On top of a mountain, the real God whispers in Muhammad's ear. So he goes down to the cube where everyone worships gods, and he tells them their gods are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave town and go to a different town. You can make a religion out of this, and maybe conquer the world as well. The Roman Empire is long
Sure.
gone, but somehow the Pope is still the Pope. Plus there's
Yeah.
new kingdoms all over Europe. I wonder if there's room for Moors. Here's all the wisdom.
Look at
in a
that.
house. It's the Baghdad House of Wisdom, just in time for the Islamic Golden Age. Let's bring stuff to the coast and sell it and become the Swahili on the Swahili coast, said the Swahili on the Swahili coast. Remember this tiny space you have to go through to get from here to there? Someone owns that now.
I mean, owning that. Look at that. If you own that, you're very powerful. From China to India and then to Arabia probably. And that's, wow, that's like owning the Silk Road.
Want to get enlightened in the middle of nowhere? The Franks have the
Yep.
biggest kingdom in Europe, and the Pope is so proud that he invites the king over for Christmas. Surprise,
Charlemagne?
you're the new Roman emperor, said the Pope, pretending to still be part of the Roman Empire. Then
Right.
The Franks broke their kingdom into what will later be called France and not France. The
They actually broke it up in 3, but doesn't matter.
Northerners, or just Norse if you don't have much time, are exploring. They go north, from the north to the northern north, and they find some
Yep.
land, 2 types of land, and they name them accordingly. They also invade some other places
Yeah.
and get called many names, such as Vikings. There's the Rus, the Kievan.
But I mean, they're called the Vikings because of what they're doing, right? They're Viking, like, it's not that they are that, they are doing that, right?
Rus. Are they Vikings? I don't think so, said the Kievan Rus. Okay, fair enough. The
They're descendant of Vikings, right? The Kievan Rus. Or at least the leaders are. Some of them are from, I don't know if they're from Sweden, Norway. I think they're from Sweden.
Pope is ready to make some more emperors of the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman
Yeah.
Empire. It's actually Germany, but don't worry about it. New kingdoms.
Christianize all the kingdoms.
Which brand would you
Yep.
like? Mine's better. Mine's better. Mine's better. Time to conquer England, said William. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the Seljuk Turks, said the Byzantine Empire, who's getting so small.
Yeah,
it
look
almost
at
doesn't
them.
exist anymore. We need help. They need help, so they call the Pope. Hey, Pope, can you help us get rid of the Seljuks? Maybe take back the Holy Land on the way? Come on, I know you want to take back the Holy Land. Yes, I do actually want to
Right.
do that. Let's do a crusade. Crusade. They did many crusades, some of which almost didn't fail, but at least the
I have to do a reaction to the Crusades because, yeah, the first one, wow, great, but all of them after that, I mean, that's, yeah.
Italians got
But
some
they
sweet
got
trade
trade.
routes. Goodbye,
Right.
Hello, Toltecs. Goodbye, Toltecs. Hello, Mississippi. Look at those
Look at
mounds.
that.
There's the Pueblo. I always wondered how to build a town in a cliff. Guess who's here? Come here.
Wow.
Where? Here. And Pagan is there. Vietnam unconquered itself. Korea just became itself. And Japan is so addicted to art that the military might have to take over the government. China just
Yeah.
invented bombs and typing. And the Mongols just invaded most of the universe.
Look at that. Mongols invaded the universe. Look at that. And it was not that quick, but it was pretty quick for humans to have that much land that quickly. Right? I don't think Genghis was like, he didn't like create the Mongol Empire just from like a city and then expanding like that. Like Rome wasn't built in a day, right? The Mongol Empire wasn't built just from Genghis Khan, right? But he extended it to its largest form, right? And you saw what China had, right? Gunpowder and writing. Very, very... That's... gunpowder and writing is almost everything that we use today, right? That's...
Nice going, Genghis. I
Wow.
bet that will last a long time. Some of the
Right.
Islamic Turks were unaffected by the Mongol invasions because they were busy invading India. Is it Tonga time?
Again.
It's Tonga time.
Look at that.
I just found out where the Swahili gets all their gold. Look at this Chad. Means lake. There's an empire there, right in the middle.
Yeah.
The king of Mali is so rich he's going on tour to let everyone know.
Yeah.
Wow, that guy's rich, everyone said. The Christians are doing a great
Very
job
rich.
reconquering Iberia, which will soon be called Spain and not Spain. Please remain Christian. We will check in later to see if you're still Christian when you least expect. Whoops, half of Europe just died. China's back, yay! Hey, come here, time to share. New kingdoms here and there. Oh, look who controls all the islands. It's the Mahajapit, Majahapit, Mapajahit, Mahapajit, Mapajahit, Majapahit. Oh, Italy's really rich. Time for them to care a lot about art and the ancient classics.
Right.
It's kind of like a rebirth. Here's a printer. Let's make books. So you think you can conquer the Byzantine Empire? Yep, said the Ottoman Turks. Nice job, Ottoman Turks. Oops, you missed a spot. Don't forget to ban Europe from the Indian spice trade. What?
This is very important. This is what gets us to the modern age, I'd say. It gives it a push, at least. The Ottoman Turks restricting the trade of spices through their empire. Now it's gonna make the Portuguese go through South Africa or west.
That's bullshit, said Portugal, spiceless. Well, I guess we'll have to find another way to India.
Exactly.
Wait, said Christopher Columbus, probably smoking crack. If the world is round, let's go this way to India. No, don't worry, we already got this, said Portugal. So Chris goes to Spain. Hey, Spain, want to hire me to find India by going around back of the world? No, please, no, please, no, please. Okay. So he sails into the ocean and discovers...
And one thing. Christopher Columbus didn't believe the earth was flat. Or the people in Spain didn't believe him because they thought the world was flat. They believed correctly that the world was bigger than Christopher Columbus said it was. Because Christopher Columbus was saying that, oh, I go west, the world is actually much smaller, because they thought India was more to the west. But thousands of years before, the Greeks, I believe, they were not entirely correct, but they were pretty close to the exact number of how big the earth was, right? So the Spanish and the Portuguese knew that the world was bigger than Christopher Columbus thought it was, because he thought, oh, I go west, I go directly to India, right? Which he's not gonna do.
More ocean, and then discovers the Indies and Japan. Let's draw a line to decide who gets which half of the world. The Aztec and Inca empires are off to a great start. I wonder if they know that Europe just discovered their continent. The Habsburgs are marrying into so many royal families they might have to start marrying each other. Move over, Lithuania. Here comes Moscow. Ivan wants to make Russia great again. Move over, Timurids. Maybe go invade India or something. Persia just made Persia Persian again. Let's make it the other kind of Islam. The one where we thought the first guy should have been the other guy. Hey, Christians, do you sin? Now you can buy your way out of hell. That's bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. That's a scam. Fuck the church. Here's 95 Reasons Why, said Martin Luther in his new book, which might have accidentally started the Protestant Reformation. You know what would be magnificent, said Suleiman wearing an onion hat? What if the Ottoman Empire was really big, which it is now? What if Russia was big, said Ivan, trying not to be terrible? Portugal had a dream that they controlled the entire Indian Ocean, including the spice trade. And then that dream was real. And Spain realized that this is not India, but they pillaged it anyway. Damn, said England and France. We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Then the Dutch revolt and all the hipsters moved to Amsterdam. Damn, said Amsterdam. We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Question 1. Can you get to India through North America? No, but
I mean, look at that. They're all trying to get to India, right? Look at the French. Look at where they're going. They're going like Quebec, right? The Dutch are going like New York, or they call it New Amsterdam. The Brits are going more north. And look at there, the Brits going all the way around, like they thought, like they had to do with Africa, or go south of Africa, right?
At least there's beaver. Question 2, steal the spice trade. That's not a question, but the Dutch did it anyway.
Yep.
Guess where all the sugar's made? In Brazil. Stolen. In the Caribbean. And it's so goddamn profitable, you might forget to not do slavery. The next thing on Russia's to-do list is to get bigger. Britain and France are having...
But I mean, to do slavery, I mean, every country here did slavery. Right? So it's just a natural thing to do. Even though it's terrible, it was a natural thing to do.
A friendly discussion about who should control the entire world. More specifically, Ohio. Then it escalates into a 7-year discussion, giving Prussia a chance to show on...
I mean, this is a world war. Come on. Right? Because France and Britain has territory in India. Right? They have territory in Europe. They have territory in Americas. Right? And they fought on oceans. I think they fought in the Atlantic. maybe even the Pacific.
Austria, who's
so,
boss?
You know.
But what about Britain and France? Did they figure out who's boss? Yes, they did. It's
Yep.
Britain. Guess who's broke? Also Britain. So they start taxing the hell out of America. Fuck you, says America, declaring their independence and fighting for it. And France helps them win. Now France is broke. And Britain will have to send...
Look at that. Britain won the war. Look at that. This is a red line, red string that you can follow through history because everything is connected, right? I mean, the Brits got broke because of the war, and then they tried to tax the British Americas, and then they got help from France and Spain and the Dutch, but mainly from France. And then France got broke, and then there was a revolution in France,
Send
right?
their prisoners to a different continent. Wait, if France is broke, why do the king and queen still wear such fancy dresses? Let's overthrow the palace and cut all their heads off, said Robespierre, cutting everybody's head off until someone eventually got mad and cut his head off. You could make a revolution. No, don't. Haiti is starting
they did.
Of a revolution, especially the slaves who free themselves by killing their masters. Why didn't we think of this before? Wait.
But I thought he was also a master, right? Right? The general there was also a slave master.
Who's in charge of France
now? They did a revolt,
said Napoleon, trying to take over Europe. Luckily, they banished him to an island.
But he came back.
Luckily, they banished him to another island. There goes Latin America, becoming independent
Look at
in
that.
the Latin American Wars of Independence. Britain just figured out how to turn steam into power, so now they can make
many different types of machines and factories with machines in them, so they can make a lot of products real fast.
Then they invent some trains and conquer India and maybe put some trains there. Hey, China, said Britain, buy stuff from us. Nah, dude, we already got everything, says China. So Britain tried to...
I mean, one thing that China has going for it, they have literally almost everything they need, right? Nowadays, they might need energy, but otherwise, they have everything they physically need, right? They don't have to, they have colonized a lot, but they don't have to colonize that much more, right? Because they have physically everything they need, right? At least at this time, right?
To get them addicted to opium, which worked actually. But then China made it illegal and dumped it all into the sea. So Britain threw a hissy fit and made them open up 5 cities and give them an island. Britain and Russia are playing a game where they try to stop each other from conquering Afghanistan. Also, the Sultan of Oman.
I mean, that's why you have the northeast. If you look at a map and you have the northeastern part of Afghanistan, it's just a little handle there, right? That was to separate British India with Russia, right? The Russian Empire. That little spot of Afghanistan.
Lives in Zanzibar now.
That's just where it lives. India just had a revolution, and they would like to govern themselves now. Nope, said Britain, governing them even harder than before.
Yep. Look at this.
Technology is about to go crazy.
The United States finally figured out whether slavery is good or bad. It's bad, they decided. And then they continued manifesting their destiny, which is to kill the rest of the natives and take their land and maybe kick out the Mexicans too. I know, let's rape Africa, said Europe.
I mean, they kicked out the Mexicans before the Civil War. Right? But okay.
To see who could rape it the fastest. They never got Ethiopia. Britain and France are still hungry.
Right.
They never got Thailand. The United States ran out of destiny to manifest, so they're looking for more.
Cuba.
Wait, Spain controls Cuba. Well, blame something on them and go to war. What should we blame on Spain? Let's blame the Maine on Spain. So they blame the Maine on Spain. Now we're in business.
Look at that.
To celebrate, they kick Panama out of Panama and make a canal connecting the 2 oceans. Britain just found oil in the Middle East. It makes cars go. China.
I mean, you can argue that the Panama Canal is like, obviously they built the Suez Canal, but it's like if Ottoman Empire was open up for the spice trade, so the Portuguese didn't go around Africa, right? Because if the Panama Canal never gets created, I think it was, I don't know if it was finished or started under Theodore Roosevelt, but if that's never built, you either have to go through land in North America or go around South America to go to the Pacific, right?
China is so tired of being bossed around that they delete their old
Boxer
government
Rebellion.
and make a new, stronger government, which is accidentally weaker and controlled by a guy from the previous government. Europe hasn't had a war since the last war, so they start World War I. Look at those guns. It's going to be a great war. So great we won't need a second one. After it's over, they blame Germany. Russia.
But I mean, it's called Great War because of the mass, of the scale of either casualties, material used, whatever.
Went on strike and the workers overthrew the government. Now everyone's paycheck is the same.
Communism in the
Is it though? Right. That's what they wanted it to be, right? Everybody's paycheck being the same, but is it everybody's paycheck is the same? Because Again, they overthrew the government because, let's just simplify it, their paycheck wasn't the same as the aristocrats and the royals, which was true, but now, is Lenin's paycheck the same as a normal worker in the Soviet Union? Is Stalin's? I don't think so. Is Trotsky's? No.
The Arabs revolt and Britain helps. Now the Ottoman Empire is
Right.
gone, so we can give the
Jewish people a place to live.
Hopefully the Arabs won't mind. Let's cut the cake, said Sykes and Picot, carving up the remains
Right.
of the not-so-Ottoman-anymore empire.
Except Turkey, Turkey makes a brand new turkey.
And then the Saudis conquer
Yep.
Arabia. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Hello? Yes, it's the 1920s calling. Let's get in the car and drive to a party and listen to jazz on the radio and go to the movies.
Right.
The economy's great and it'll
Yep.
probably be great forever. Just kidding. Germany's
Yeah.
back featuring Hitler, the angry mustache model, and he's mad at the Jews for existing. Japan is finally conquering
Yeah.
the East, and they're so excited they raped Nanking way too hard. They should probably just deny
Yep.
it. Hitler's out of control, so the international community tackles him and tries to explain why killing all the Jews is a bad idea, but he kills himself
Right.
before they could explain it to him.
That's World
Yep.
War II.
Bonus round, Pacific Showdown. United States versus Japan. Fight. Finish him. Let's unite all the nations and have some
World peace.
Seems legit. Hi.
One thing though. The nuclear bombs. This is a problem. When you're trying to have something, let's say you're trying to have democracy in the Middle East, but the way you make democracy in the Middle East is to kill thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, that's not very democratic of you. If you're trying to have world peace, but you use the 2 extinction bombs, which has created this tension for 80 years, 85 years now, right? We can die in an instant from these bombs, right? And then you create a world peace organization, which no one voted to have it. And it was created on the backs of using the extinction bombs. And how many countries in the peace organization has those extinction bombs, right? It's having democracy with a gun to your head, right?
Hi, I'm Gandhi, and if Britain doesn't get the hell out of India, I'm going to starve myself in public. Wow,
Yep.
that worked. Bonus, now there's Pakistan. Actually, 2 Pakistans. One of them could be Bangladesh later. The Jews and the Arabs finally figured out which one of them should live in the Holy Land. Me, they both said at the same time. Let's divide up the land
Right.
so everyone's happy.
Psych, they both get angrier.
Look out, China. There's a new China in China. What's on the menu?
Uh-oh.
Communism. No thanks, said the other China, escaping to an island. I wonder which one is
Yep.
the real China. There's the Korean War, Korea versus Korea. Nobody wins, then it's on pause forever. Let's meet the sponsors. Oh, it's the 2 global superpowers. They're having a friendly debate over which economic system is good and which one is an evil virus.
I mean, again, I saw there you had the red line again. You have Communist China, you have the Republic of China, Taiwan now. You had the Communist Korea, and you had the South Korea, right? And then you're gonna see the same with Vietnam.
And they both have atom bombs. Fight! Wait, no, that would be the
Right.
end of the world. Let's just keep it cool and spy on each other instead. And make sure we
That's
have enough
better.
atom bombs. I'll
Yeah.
race you to space. Now let's make some more countries fight themselves. Europe is tired of
Right.
pillaging other continents, and the continents they were pillaging are tired of being pillaged. So here's a new map with new countries. Now you can't tell who they're being pillaged by. The United
Exactly.
States finally decided whether racism is good or bad. They decided it's bad, and the world agrees. South Africa might need another minute to think about it.
What do you mean the world agrees? Which world? Yes, South Africa apartheid, but again, racism. You say you mean the Western world agrees. The rest of the world didn't agree because they have never had that discussion, right? Just give it examples. Like if you are black and you go to Japan or China, people are just gonna look at you, right? If you're white and go to China and Japan, there maybe more Japan, the people are still also gonna look at you, right? Because you don't look like them. It's not overtly racism, but it's just, you know, they look at you as a different race, and that's that. It's the Western world that agrees that racism is bad, right? But okay,
Let's check the world population. Whoa.
look at that.
Okay. Technology's better too, that might keep happening. The Soviet Union
Yep.
decides to relax a little and accidentally falls apart. Europe makes a union, so now they can all use the same money. Except Britain, because they don't feel like it. Let's check the mail. Surprise, it's on the computer. Whoops, someone just attacked America. I bet they'll remember that. Phone call. Surprise, it's in your pocket. Want to learn everything? Surprise, it's on the computer. Now your phone's a computer, which is in your pocket. Whoops, the economy just...
Right, because before the phone was just a phone where you can call someone, right? It wasn't a computer like we have nowadays, like the smartphone, right? Oh, here we have the banks are too big to fail, 2008.
Crashed. Don't worry, the big banks won't fail because they're not supposed to.
Surprise. Right.
Flying robots with bombs. Want to print a brain? Some people have no friends. Some people have no food. The globe is warming.
And the ocean is full of plastic.
Let's save the planet, said everybody, not knowing how. Let's invent a thing inventor, said the thing inventor after being invented by a thing inventor. That's pretty cool. By the way, where the hell are we?
There you go. That was fantastic. Right? Very concise. Obviously, I had to go through quickly on parts of history that was, and world as a whole, but to just emphasize what happened in that part of the world that was not meaningful, but that everybody has some inkling of what happened at that time at that place, which was, this is very interesting, right? A lot of questions still, but comment down below if you have any arguments with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.